love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't stop, stupid up, don't stop. Turning back, I won't stop, I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so what? You're gonna be hurting bad, cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad, I stay strong, you will never see me crack. And if you get in my way, you're gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math, when I hate, I attack. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't stop, stupid up, don't stop.
Welcome to the members only section of the Road Dog Road Dog Crypto YouTube channel. This is a little section where I like to give back to you guys, or given to me. You guys want to do the $3 membership thing? I really appreciate that. Every little bit helps on this channel. As YouTube just wants to pay me 15 cents a stream, or 15 cents an hour to stream. Now that I'm complaining I don't make my money from YouTube, well, that could be cool. A lot of YouTubers funnel that money into crypto. That's exactly what I would do to it too. So, you know. So I guess hats off for the ones that are smart enough to do it and get to be the big channels. Although it does bring some of their questionable, their activities, their trading activities into question. That's a topic for a different time. But what I was going to share with today is, man, my ride during this big ass dump that we had, right, with Bitcoin. Don't act like you don't know what it is, because we all felt it when that little sucker was up here, and I'm looking at my accounts and I'm thinking, yeah, this is looking good, man. If we actually do break out from here, man, things are just gonna be awesome. We pulled back a little bit. Yeah, that's cool. So I was getting ready for a pullback, expected to pull back. I was thinking more, you know, 60, 58,000. I was hoping we would respect this trend line here. We didn't, we broke it. And the smart thing to do, I guess, which I did not do, was to you know, de-risk at that point to matter on my spot margin. The spot margin that I'm doing, it's a long trade. It's a position trade. It's not like your swing trades. It's not like your day trades. It's using that. It's kind of like your HODL. It's kind of like your HODL. Not too far away from your DCA, or you can apply I find myself applying those strategies a lot with it. But generally the idea for it is, when market down here, build up some bags, and then as market goes up, you can multiply those bags. I mean, Now, I'm not talking about your X's and returns. That's going too, but I mean, I don't know. Let's say if you had 100 of one coin when you're starting down here, that's all you can afford is 100 of whatever coin this is. And it starts coming up and it goes through its fluctuations of going up and down. Well, you can turn the 100 coins with the margin, using it responsibly and wisely. If that means, you know, dialing it down, it's a low leverage idea is what we're trying to go for, which makes us the most money. We all know that the hodlers and the investors are the ones who really make the massive amounts. It's not so much the traders as it is the investors, but to be an investor, you got to get in a good price. But when you got a little bit of leverage, you can balance that out if you didn't get the very bottoms and things like that. And you can take advantage of what goes up and what comes down. With small leverage, I'm talking 1 to 2x is basically what this boils down to if we're doing it right. And sometimes we get a little ahead of ourselves, or I did a little bit and got a little overextended. No, we'll get into that. But the basic idea is like that 100 coins that we had. Well, by the time that we get up through here, we should have a bag of maybe about 200 or 300 of those coins. We can grow that to we might have 1,000 of those coins by the time we get up here. And by the time we get up here, we might have several thousands of those coins. It sounds crazy, but you can multiply it like that and build that bag with the strategy. And that means that when we get up to a point where you want to take profit, you have a lot more coins and a lot more value in that position. Ideally, that's how it works. But now going to the downside, it works exactly opposite. You see those big numbers, your 5,000 coin bag start to dwindle down to, oh crap, there's only 4,000 now. Oh, she's only 2,000 coins, and what? Because it's using that for collateral. So there's pros and cons, and you got to be aware of it if you're using spot margin. Now, this is available on a lot of exchanges. I know Binance has had it. It's the first place I was exposed to it. KuCoin had it. The first place I was exposed to it. The downside was I was forced to leave KuCoin because of the whole KYC issues. And it came at a bad time, and that's something to consider. If there's some kind of things that comes up with your exchange or something, it could put you in a bad spot. I took a little bit of a hit doing that. I had to move everything off the exchanges, keep what I could in spot, and weed out the ones I wasn't going to move over, especially Ethereum tokens, ERC20s, things like that, because that's expensive to move off exchanges. Was at that time. It's a little bit better now. That's how I lost my good ordy positions and things like that. There are a lot of things, but now I'm doing it over on CoinEx. And they're pretty cool. Pretty cool. You can KYC over there, but you don't have to. Now, if you're just dialing straight in from the land of the USSA, well, you know, they're probably not going to let you do anything. But if they don't know where you're coming from, they welcome you with open arms. So it's sad that we're in a position where it's not illegal to do this. It's from the USA, but they put so much pressure and put so much fear into places that don't want to, you know, be drug into big old court battles and things like that, getting a tussle with any of our 3-letter agencies like the SEC, CTFC, all that stuff. Where they'll throw up, you know, they'll do their side. All right, we'll put up a little screen here, but you know, we're open to the world because that's what we're about. So if you feel comfortable doing something like that's a question you got to ask yourself, or you can do the Palau ID thing. I'm planning on doing that too. Haven't got it done yet, but it is in the works, getting all that stuff laid out. So there are some of the ideas there. I'm going to give a quick shout out to everybody that's here. I mean, I'm not expecting a lot of people to be here. Some people watch this in retrospect. Try not to make this a long stream, but kind of just go over the ride and some ideas and what I'm trying to do to recover. Because I did take a hit. If I told you that I came out of this drop unscathed, I would be lying to your face. And your boy's not going to do that. The boy's going to show you the truth and what's really going on. I got beat up, but I didn't get wiped out on everything, and there is a recovery. But I'm telling you, man, just like I'm saying, your bags grow as it goes up. They shrink when they come down. And when you're in the mid of just watching everything just shrink down, oh man. If you're overindulged in this, your emotions are going to come out. I was fighting with emotions I haven't seen in a while. I mean, your boy's been liquidated before with the big mounts, and it started feeling like that. And, you know, so my plan now, my thoughts, it all revolves around what Bitcoin might be doing, right? And on the bigger thing with Bitcoin, we're not out of the woods yet. Now, it would be great And we might. There is that offshoot chance that maybe, you know, this pattern plays out, all the patterns and everything. Maybe we get bullish and we just come back up here, we do a breakout and we start going to 80,000, something like. Great. Bags are going to pump. Those accounts going to grow and like multiply, and it's going to be wonderful. And it would be very tempting. Oh man, let's just load up now. Get ready for it. Yeah, they could. But if it doesn't and it rolls over and we come down to make a lower low, if you're having a hard time here, man, it's going to be that all over again. I do not want to go through those emotions ever again. I don't need anxiety in my life. That's not why I got into crypto. Got into crypto to take all that anxiety away. It's an up and down game, and this was a nice flush out attempt. And whether it was just an attempt or what, there's some good signs, man. This wick is a good sign. That's a good reversal sign right here, and a good support area here. But what we may see, and what I'm safeguarding against, and luckily we're seeing a push up in the market, and that has helped me tremendously. Just the little push we got up has helped me de-risk a lot. I'm in so much of a better shape right now that if we do roll over a little bit, you know, your boy's feeling a lot better about it. But I'm looking that we could come up maybe as high as 63,000, but we can still roll over from there. There's still some signs up here that's not giving us the go signal for the bull market yet, and a lot of things in the world, you know, we can still come down. But now with all this buy pressure here, we got a good chance to just come down to, you know, a retracement area on the fibs, like a 786, 886. Probably a 786 is what we want. A 618 would be wonderful, but you know, a deeper retracement and come down back to these areas, maybe halfway through their candle area. I'm looking about 52,000 when we roll over. We may be rolling over where we are now. I don't know. I can't really tell yet. If we do, then I'll look at things. We'll get into that. But rolling over, you know, we may come back down and then kind of, you know, go sideways for a little while. And I can take advantage of that if we come down here, or even, God forbid, if we start coming down here, at least I've got something in play, right? I'll start getting into that right now, but that's what I'm planning on. I want to de-risk this account as we come up here. So let's move over and let's go look at the account, which was, wow, man, I can show you the P&L. You maybe tell me in the chat if you'd be feeling a little bit nervous too when I pop this up. When we talk about my wild ride, here I am, man. I'm at $85,000, and I'm glad because I seen this sucker go down to, like, I swear I thought I saw it in the 30s. This number was not quite twice as much, but it was up quite a bit. Now, just go to the profit and loss. That's where the real stuff is. Can we make this dark? Check and make sure I got my microphone up. Is there a way to make this dark? Dark. Oh, well. I guess we're just going to have to deal with it. So my 7-day profit and loss right now, 46,000. It was a lot more. We're making a comeback. So I'm getting, the things are going good. Things are going better anyway, right? Let's switch this back because it's more than, let's go back 30 days. Well, there's a little up and a little down. It says I'm only down 20,000 from there. Go back all the way. Yeah, I think so. Pretty much less. Has it been 7 days? And 90 days, it's pretty much getting me there. So I'm only down 49,000. Okay, cool. Where would that put me? That another 50 onto this, about 130, 140, somewhere around there where I was hanging out. I think I saw this go up to about 170,000 at one point, total. Some of that was leverage too, which, man, I got smashed there. Let's talk about that. Just flip over there for a second on futures. But that's not it. I totally got demolished over there. There was a little bit left, and that's what I'm playing with, trying to grow it all back, because what other choice do I have other than just to give up on it? But here I am. I mean, this was up to, I had it up and I added money into it too, collateral into it. But I was hanging around, I think, between 13 to 15,000 through there. Let's do the P&L. It'll tell us. Yeah, I'm down $15,000 here, man. I took a beating and ass whooping on the leverage. I was so busy with everything else and trying to finagle it and trying to get my, you know, my liquidation orders in there. And I mean, I was working it. It got me within just a hair. It got me within a hair, and that's a sickening feeling when you're like, we almost pulled it off. We almost pulled it off, but then we didn't, and that sucks. And that's crypto. So what do? I mean, all you can do is take it on the chin and keep going. And took the hard one in the chest there. Let's see, over 90 days. So this covers it all, man. That was a beating, but it left me with enough. It left me with like $800 or $900, and well, we're up 200 and something on it. So it's a start, right? Just got to do more responsibly. Not really got much going on. I've got a long that's going on, helping to build this up, mostly on the Bitcoin side rather than trying the Tether side. And playing with a little short idea, and it's underwater, but you know, I do expect a rollover, so it's a very small one. I mean, tiny. I'm not going crazy. There's only like, I think cash wise, there's only like maybe $250. The rest of it's all Bitcoin. And I don't like losing my Bitcoin. I lost a lot of Bitcoin on that. Was not cool. So let's get back over to the margin, and let's go over the margin, and I'll kind of break this down. This is not, I need to be here. This is what sums it up. So today I'm up 20,000. Woo, something's going right. That helped me de-risk. What I did, for all my coins, basically, is that I just pulled a Fibonacci from, I think we were above here when I pulled it, but I just started putting sell orders on all these fibs. I'm layering down, and I did it even on a shorter here with Bitcoin. Like on Bitcoin, that's the one that I really need to pay back the loan to get things down, and that's why I'm concerned. That's why my concern is about how this works. If you're not familiar with this concept with spot margin, I've got to kind of break it down what it is. It's a way where you can use collateral on your trading pairs. Now your trading pairs already have a leverage assigned to them if you do this. Like most of them, altcoins are 3x, 3 to 5x, and most of your bigger altcoins are somewhere from 5 to 10x. So with Bitcoin, it's 10x. And what that means is if I want to put 0.1 Bitcoin in there, well, I could borrow up to a full Bitcoin. 0.1 times 10 gives you a full Bitcoin. If I put $1,000 over there, well, I could borrow up to $10,000 on it. Now you don't do that. You don't borrow that whole amount, because this is how you control your leverage. So if I did the whole thing, I'd be balls to the deep $10,000 in 10x. I mean, I could play that, but my strategy is to keep this under control, because that will assign your liquidation price. The more money you borrow, the higher liquidation is going to be. Kind of like what it is on futures. Well, that actually works a little different. But the lower amount that you have, the lower your liquidation is. So if you get your loan up too high, your liquidation comes up high, and that's how you can get into trouble. So if you keep this responsible, it's like if I put $1,000 in, I would not borrow $10,000. I would start out borrowing exactly what I put in, $1,000. That would give me a 1 or 2 to 2x. I might go as high as 3, but I don't recommend that, especially after the situation that we're in now. But I will tell you this, the best time to open these positions are when we have these big ass drops, or at the bottoms of the market. I was telling you, this is mostly for position trading and building those big positions and watching them grow in the bags and everything. It works great for that if you start at the bottoms. If you start kind of high, and you know, you can plan for the drawdown. It's not fun, but you know, you plan for it, but it's not good to start it when we're too high. So if you're going to open positions now, and since we could be getting a rollover, well, it could go against you a little bit. If you want to plan to try the nibble when it comes down, you can even short and stuff with spot margin too. You know, you borrow coins and sell them, and then you can buy them up with the cash it gives you. And when they come down, it's my personal opinion is so much better and so much safer than perpetual futures. I got whacked on a few positions over here, but nothing like if I was on perpetual futures, I would have lost every freaking thing. Let me let's go over here. Some positions that I lost, and one thing I want to say is I got way too many coins over here. This was part of my bright idea to bring my bags over that aren't doing anything and help them pay off my Bitcoin. And then the market tanked, and then I was like, oh crap, well that's not really going to work like I hoped it would so far. But the market will recover, and when it does, that will be back in effect, and I'm still going to do that. I'm using this to weed out all these little altcoin bags I've got, and hopefully I can come down to maybe 10 side on maybe 10 to 12. Maybe that's, to a lot of people, that's way too many coins, but to me, that's A+ for effort. For me, that's like a lot, because I don't recommend having this many coins. It's more a headache than it's worth. And that's the reason why I was freaking out. That's what was drawing my account down so quick and so heavy, was all these little freaking altcoins, and trying to make sure I could save the ones I could, make sure we get them all positioned where they're not going to get liquidated. And some of them I still lost. Some of my near bag, I lost a lot of it. It left me enough though, and that's why I still got them. It left me enough that I could start over again. So, I mean, man, I lost a lot of these. Some of these are just crap. They're just little bitty plays. I mean, I've got some tiny ones, and I've got some up to, you know, several $1,000s. And I plan to weed out all of these. It lost after my towel, but you know, it started very little anyway. It started just like I'm starting it all over again now. Now I've got one whole towel. I had like a 0.10 towel, but I'm building that little sucker back up. Slowly but surely, she's coming back up. It knocked out my link, man. I had like 150 link that I put over there. The mine that I put there, gone. It left me with about 10. I've got it doubled now at 20. So we're slowly with just the little move that we got. It's helping. I'm still finding my near bag. It got my near, but it left me with a little bit. I had 500 near. No more. That's what I transferred wallet-wise over to here. Gone. It left me with enough to start. I think it's about half of this. I've got 42 that are mine now, and I've got my bag. I've got a bag of 85 now. So that's what it is. You got what your actual assets, and it will vary. Remember, it puts the value on your assets that you're borrowing against. So you transfer from your wallet 500 or 500 near, but if the market goes down, and you got some loans against it, well, that 500 shrinks a little bit to 490 to 480 or whatever. So you got to be kind of ready for that. But when we're going on the upside, and that's when it's good. The biggest thing that I look and what I freak out over is this risk percentage right here. This and the liquidation price. Why I was freaking out, and you can tell in my live streams, you can tell, man, things were getting to me, man. I would look at this thing, I would sweat. Me just looking at my phone and thinking about crypto during some of that, it was like panic attack. I was breaking out in sweats. I remember when this was going on and I flipped on YouTube and some YouTuber was talking about it's going to 30,000, and I'm like, I can't watch this. I will freaking have a heart attack, because my liquidation was somewhere around 45,000 at the time. I once had it down to 38,000 before the drop started. I had to borrow from some of my Bitcoin to help save some of these altcoins, right? Or make sure that they're secure enough. And then it raised my liquidation point from 37 or 38 up to like 48, something crazy. I don't know, up there to a number that we could hit. No, it wasn't 48. It was probably, I think it was about 43 to 44. It's been still hard for me to get it down, but my goal is I'm still trying to get this back into the 30s, because there's a chance. There really is a chance that things could get nasty. We might hit 40,000 Bitcoin. I don't want to lose things. So I'm doing everything I can to safeguard that. I just messed something up here. So guys, give me some heads up if this is making any sense, or if you got questions about spot margin or anything, mostly about spot margin today. Here we are, Bitcoin. Because I know some of you guys are curious about this and wanting to try, because it is a good strategy if you're responsible with it. I've been as responsible as I could, and then some of it's just slipped away from me because look how many things I've got to keep up with. No sane person in their right mind would do this. This is kind of don't do this. I'm trying to get away from this, so don't let that be an example. But notice that they're all in the green. They're all in the green. And what was so bad when they come down and you think, well, okay, their things are dropping. Maybe I can borrow from my assets and buy here. Well, no, if you've already got a loan out and this thing goes into the yellow or the orange, it will turn orange when you can't borrow against it. Man, they were all yellow. They were all orange. Now, the good thing is when we were up, I told you I'd plan on de-risking there and taking some profits and get ready for a bigger drop. And, I was just thinking it's 58, 60, okay. And I would have been beautiful, cute, cool if that plan worked out. But apparently you got to really, really, really plan for the worst of the worst. And I was, I thought I had it covered. Luckily, crossed my fingers for the most part. I did not lose my Bitcoin. That's my biggest fear right there. I don't want to lose my Bitcoin, man. My Bitcoin, seriously, to tell you the truth, I've got about this much Bitcoin that I put over here. Now, if I were to cash out right now, I don't have that much. I've got to get this back. That's my position size, but I don't have 100% of that back yet. I want it all back. And that involves paying this loan down. And these altcoins, these tons of altcoins I've got, that's my plan to make them work, weed them out, and eventually just pay down this 89,000 so I can walk out of here with that 2.18 Bitcoin and hopefully grow it more. I want to grow this Bitcoin bag. I think this is great for Bitcoins. And if I could concentrate mostly on just doing Bitcoin and a few other altcoins, I think I could do a lot better. So much better. I think I could actually grow this Bitcoin bag and maybe come out with 10 Bitcoin by the end of the thing. Value that, and concentrate on that. But I've been using Bitcoin as collateral for these altcoins because altcoins are at some point going to outpace Bitcoin. So, well, it's been shitty market for altcoins, and very few of them have been outpacing Bitcoin. And I'm ready to just focus on the main ones now, really, to tell you the truth. So my main bag's Bitcoin, Caspa. I thought I had Caspa covered. I did. But she went orange on me and I couldn't do anything. So I couldn't take advantage of the 12-cent prices. I didn't have any dry powder to deploy because she went orange. I couldn't borrow anything. So my liquidation price now on Caspa is 15 cents. See, I'd pulled some money out of here to help a few things too because she was up so good. That's what did it. So I'm paying back some of this loan too. I want to get this little sucker paid off. I got $17,000 borrowed against Caspa, but I've got a pretty decent size bag of it too. I think it's somewhere around 160,000 of them in control. I moved 78,000 over there, so I don't want to come out of here with anything less than 78,000 Caspa. I want to be able to pull that out. That's important to me. And sometimes as these numbers go up, you can pull your coins and take them off and put them in the wallet. Use that as your take profit. You don't always have to sell. You just pull them out. Just manage your risk your loan, make sure you're paying back your loan, taking some profits and paying it back. It gives you so many options of how you can do this. You're like it's seriously like being your bank. You can borrow from Peter to pay Paul, move this over here to do this, and it opens up some really unique opportunities for you to utilize your collateral. That's the magic of the spot margin trading. It gives you lots of options and control, and more so than you'll get on futures, and definitely more than you'll get on spot. But there are the risks to it. Brackets of interest is what I missed. My lord, all those margins. I know, take that. If you missed that part, don't do that. Don't do this. This is what started getting me in trouble with all these coins. But that was my genius game plan, which would have been great if we hadn't had a market drop. It would have been more genius if I'd waited for the market drop and then moved them over to do it. Oh man, Road Dogg would be the man. That would be a whole different story. But but she's gaining. She's gaining back. She's gaining back. Look, this is what I'm beat down. The last 7 days is the same as the last. Well, a little bit worse, a little bit better than the last 90 days. Last 90 days says I've lost 49,000. I want that back. Hey, market, you're getting ready to give that back to me. You got to tell that market what it's going to do. And seriously, it sounds crazy, but things didn't change until I looked at that screen and I told it. I said, Bitcoin, people make a living making this. People make a living trading you in crypto, and they're making millions. And you've been taking my money for the last 5 or whatever years. And I said, no more. I said, I'm going to learn what I need to learn, and you're going to give me back every penny you took, and then you're going to multiply it and give me back more and more. And I had to get mad at losing and say that. And then things, I guess it flips your mindset, or flipped my mindset, and then things started changing around. But yeah, that's quite the loss to tape. But we made quite the recovery today, and it looks better. I'm de-risking, and that's what I'm explaining on the stream. So let me get back to what I was saying, what I'm doing. So let's use Caspa, because this is exactly what I'm doing with Caspa to de-risk on Caspa. And I am getting my ranges, and I've got sell orders on Caspa up through here. I don't know that we'll get up. I don't expect us to get up there, right? I don't expect us to get up past 17, but I've got some sell orders there that go back to pay back my loan. Also, the ones that I've paid back or I've made some sell orders, sometimes I'm taking what I'm selling, just what you would do on spot anyway, instead of paying back the loan. If I've already got it paid back to where it looks comfortable, my margin area, we're at my liquidation point where it's coming back to somewhere reasonable. Well, then I'm taking these, and when we get to an area, I am looking that we will come back to these, that we have a chance to come back and revisit these areas and make a higher low. The other option is to come down and make a lower low, which that's what we got to be prepared for. Because, my liquidation for Caspa is down here at 11 cents. That's from where I put my fib, it says we can go there. If the market gets nasty, that's one of the targets it's headed to. So I'm selling off still a little more Caspa just to pay down my loan, get my risk under. But I've also got some really tiny micro orders for, as she comes down, whatever she comes down, I'm picking up a little bit too after I've sold some. So we're adding some back, but it's micro. I'm talking like $5 here, there, at certain places. I'm pyramiding. What I'm doing is putting more weight on orders down here if we come down, and just kind of letting us dip down, but not going hard like it did. Just enough to refill the coffers a little bit from what I'm selling as we go up. And I'm watching that liquidation price, and I'm watching that risk level to make sure that we're good. And maybe, if things start going, I might sell a little more if we're actually taking an actual rollover, if we actually see a rollover coming. And if I can plan ahead of time, I can't do it on every coin because there's too many, but on some of them I may short. And all you do is you put you can borrow, like for Bitcoin. If I want to borrow Bitcoin, I could borrow up to 4 Bitcoin. Am I going to? Hell no, I'm not going to take a risk like that. I can get liquidated. That gives me a tight liquidation. That's cool for a minute, but it can bite you in the ass. So if you ask me what the key is, I think the key is to keep your borrowing down low and deploy it little by little. Because this is if you're doing the position trading thing, or if this can be really beneficial, but it's so important to nibble. Just little by little. If you're trying to do swing trades like that, it works really good too, but same thing. You got to keep in control where your liquidation areas are, and you might want to use the stop losses and things like that. It's just a really cool tool that you can use. But I could borrow up to $283,000 on the capital that I've got, or the Bitcoin that I've got in there right now. But when I do, it's going to raise my liquidation price, and that's what I'm fighting against. So I am trying to pay off the $89,000 that I have borrowed against my Bitcoin here. At one point during our at one point before we dropped down, I had like $107,000 to be repaid over here. And I think it was the last drop that I paid down that a lot. Or, you know, after the last drop or whatever, you know, I made sure that I had to pay that down, and that makes a big difference. Makes a big difference. So you don't want to get, it's easy to get carried over. But the rule is, do not have this many coins, because that will hurt you, and that's what I've lost some of these thanks to that. But luckily, I was able to do what I did. I mean, it took all my time. It's stupid to do this. It really is. But again, my whole plan is I'm getting rid of these. The whole plan is to put these on the chopping block. All these positions on the chopping block. The biggest part of them, and just start focusing on a few select ones. Or maybe pull out my moon bag if I can, you know, break even somewhere through there. Maybe pull out. It was ones I don't want to. I don't know. I don't. I'm. Too many damn altcoins. I got too many. It's time to get rid of them. So that's kind of basically what I'm doing with this in my game plan, and I hope that made sense. So I'm up for any kind of questions that you guys got over spot margin or just trading in general, or what I'm doing in general. But there is a little bit of a comeback, but I did take a big hit, man. But she can recover. She can recover fairly well. I can get back to where I was, and even though there's a part of me saying, "Oh man, remember that position?" I freaked out because I thought I lost my FET bag, but I remembered, oh, they switched it over. They quit trading that, so I found that one. I thought, oh man, because there were some bags that I really wanted to keep that, you know, like my near bag, I lost that one. But you know, when things got down and Naka was down cheaper than I'd ever seen it, and I still had Naka, I did move it over at, you know, those low prices. So there are some bags that I've added, you know, I put some over here that were sitting there when we were at the bottom, because that's a smart time to do it. So I did have enough sense to do some of that, and those are doing kind of cool, and that's also helping me to recover. And I hope that, you know, we'll get this sucker back up to 130 before too long. It looks hard now, but man, if you've seen how low it went, and let me tell you, I'm grateful to be here, just where we are. So I'm happy. I can do this. I can do a lot with this, what we got. And I like it being all in the green. So watching it carefully, trying not to get caught up, trying to get rid of these dang coins, man. A lot of these are just worthless crap. Even though I like them. There's so few. There's Tau. I lost my Tau. But I started with nothing. I think I mentioned this earlier. It left me with like 0.1 Tau, man. And now I got one whole Tau without borrowing from my Bitcoin. And I will grow that back to 2 Tau, back to 3 Tau, back to 4 Tau. Just slowly and slowly. But check out with you guys. Let's see what you're saying over here. So do you trade as normal on margin? Yeah, you can. That works great. Just like I said, the biggest thing is just keeping your risk levels, because when it gets into orange, that means, well, you can't borrow anymore. You're technically just under the weather, or under just a little bit at that point. And I think the minimum that you can borrow is $50, sometimes $60. Sam, I experienced that same thing that you were talking about the other day, where you borrow, like I borrowed, it's on the tiniest of positions, like on the CecuX, Jasmine, Ondo. Lost my Ondo back. I'd borrowed on this one, and it wouldn't let me pay anything back, because sometimes I don't want to use that whole $60, right? If I got a real tiny bag that I'm playing with. And so sometimes the idea is, I've had to do, I'd borrow 50 or 60 and then pay back 30 and just use that 30 to play with, because I don't borrow too much if it's a tiny thing. And it wouldn't let me pay anything back. So I think you have to get into profit before it will let you pay. Weird as crap, isn't it? I don't know. But eventually it will let you start paying little increments back. but I think you have to actually be in the green for it to do it, as weird as it is. Sometimes I might add a few bucks over. Like sometimes, seriously, on some of these bags, like, you know, is throw a little bit, maybe buy a little bit of the asset, put it in there, and then borrow against it, and then play that game. I've talked about that. You can do that. Like Jasmine, if I put $100, bought $100 of Jasmine on spot, I could transfer it over here to spot margin, and now I've got that $100 worth with 3x leverage. I could borrow up to $300 more on that automatically off the rip. So that's cool. I demonstrated that with before the drop with this mass position. I borrowed, I think, $50 or $100, put it on spot, but I think I can't remember. I want to think it was $50 worth of mass, put it over here, and then I borrowed against it, and then built up a position. I've still got it. It made it through there, and I've got a total position size of 83 masks now, and it's telling me that I've got 27. I don't know what the dollar value is on that, but that one made it through everything. And you know, I created this position just from borrowed money, from $100 borrowed, and flipped it over here. And of course, what is it saying? And well, it's bigger than that now. I've borrowed $130 total since I put it over there, and I'm in the green on it. My liquidation is 128. I've got 83, whatever that is. I don't even know what the price of mask is right now, but so we're gradually going some bags that. And eventually, depending on how you play it, I mean, you have your position size. You can choose to wait till things come up, and then you can try to get as much as this out if you want to keep the coin. I don't know, man. You just got so many options you can do with spot margin. It's just like spot, but you can borrow against your coins if you need to. If you get in a tight spot, you can borrow a little bit to get you out of that tight spot. Or you find a little opportunity when price comes down. I can borrow a little bit here and take advantage of that. The problem, you just don't go crazy with it. You don't ever borrow the full amount. I mean, let's take Caspa for instance. Caspa, if I wanted to borrow against it, I could borrow $160,000. That sounds, I could do a lot with $160,000, but it put me at risk to where Caspa dropped down to 15 cents and liquidate it, and I lose everything. So no. Look at that. I could borrow. No, wait a minute. Are you telling? No, you're telling me now that I can borrow. Oh, maximum borrow per person. I'm sorry. Okay. See, my Caspa percent's 156. I can borrow up to $2,000 on Caspa, so I was incorrect on that at the moment. As this risk number goes up, that number gets a lot bigger. That's where you can start being reasonable, but borrowing against it. Right now, I've got my Caspa's in profit though. I've got 115. I mean, 78,000 is mine. The rest of it's pure profit. So that's cool. I'm cool with that. So that bag's finally growing. It took it a while. It's because I kept borrowing from it and putting it in other places is why it wasn't growing. But now that I quit doing that, oh, look, okay, so my Caspa order hit and it gave me $500 there. I have already taken some of this, like that $500, what I just said. Here's what I did with Caspa, and this is Caspa here. So previously I've already sold $500. So I'm good, right? I've got money to pay back my loan, and then I've got some that I'm stacking from I've got orders stacked all the way from down here with one of those. So if Caspa drops down, all I got to worry is about my loan, and I've already got orders stacked down here with $500 or worth of Caspa orders stacked down here in case we do roll over. And so as Caspa comes down, I'm just collecting some when she goes back up, and that's how I'm playing it. I don't know that she will ever come back down here again. I don't know. The rollover we got, we're probably going to see lower prices. I want to take advantage. Well, I've got all the orders in there ready to go, man. And they're tiny. They're just tiny little orders that are just building my bags as they're coming down. They're not big orders. They're little bitty nibbles all the way down. But enough that if she does come all the way down here, I should have a nice bag of it with a lower liquidation price, because I'm paying back that loan as we go up. Matter of fact, I want to do that right now. Since I got $500, And I got 17,986. I got to repay that. Let's do that live. I'm going to repay. Why are you not working? Maybe I read that wrong. That might be my order that's actually put. That might be, I believe that's it. That is. Gosh darn it. Okay, so I do have some orders that will be hit selling chunks, and that's what I'm doing. I will be taking them and playing. This is actually my $500 orders that I got dispersed down in case Caspa drops. But everything else I'm paying against that loan to reduce this loan and to get this liquidation price. Man, I want you to get you down to as low as I can get you. Kind of cool though. I like that. I got more Caspa.
Yeah.
And I lost my chat. All right, so I think I've covered everything I've got. Let's make sure we got your guys' questions answered over here, if there are any. Otherwise, we'll just call it a day. Hey, there's Archbid. How's it going? You're still the man, Rhoda. That was a rough week. Y'all know, but it put me in places I didn't want to be in, man. When she started breaking 50, I'm like, hey. You need to back off now. But that was a harsh crash. We saw it was a black swan kind of situation with Japan and all that kind of did it. But that's all it takes to change your life in the wrong direction, and I don't want to do that. So the question was, do you trade as normal with margin? Basically, yeah, you trade just as normal. Just watch your risk and your liquidation prices. And if you're going to trade, the stop losses, of course, help you out a lot. Position trading, I'm trying to get those bottoms. I'm trying to get those lows. But regular swing trading, yeah, definitely have stops in place that will help you. All right, guys, no more questions. I'm going to just call it a day and see you tonight on the regular show, where hopefully we'll see what this market's doing. She looks is she still going up? Are we still moving up? Are we going to make it to 60,000 or 62? That would be, we're at 60. Yeah, baby. Well, hell, I should be getting no, I don't have an order there. I got to go put my orders in for Bitcoin as she's coming up to sort of continue my de-risking. About every $500, yeah. On Bitcoin, I'm actually taking $500 every $500 went up, because I don't know how much farther we're getting, and I want to pay that loan off. All right, guys, I'll see you tonight. Trade wisely. And hopefully we put something out there that was a little educational or a little bit of value. See you tonight, guys. Where's that exit screen? You know the one. There we go. We got it. See you later, guys. Thanks for hanging out.